The First Minister mentioned the updated energy strategy, but Russia's appalling actions have put a renewed focus on energy security. In Scotland, we have the natural resources to protect our own supply, and we have the resources to export to other countries to reduce Europe's dependence on Russian gas. Last night, the former SNP Energy Minister said, and I quote, "In principle, we do need more oil and gas." He continued, "We need all the oil and gas production we can get." I agree with Fergus Ewing. We can protect Scottish jobs. Patrick Harvey laughs, but we can protect Scottish jobs and we can secure our energy supply. First Minister, surely now is the time to maximise oil and gas production in Scotland using the energy on our own doorstep.
First Minister.
These are important issues, and in light of what is happening in Ukraine, of course, we have to look carefully at all of these issues. The work on our energy strategy, as I said, is underway. That will allow us to properly understand our energy requirements as we make that transition to net zero. On the issue of exports of oil and gas, of course, I think around 80% of North Sea production is already exported, a fact that I think it is important to bear in mind. It is, of course, the case that we need to consider very carefully the implications of the changes, volatility in the energy market right now for us. Let me repeat again, this is not for the UK an issue of security of supply. Only around 3% of our gas supplies and around 8% of our oil and petroleum supplies come from Russia, but we will all bear the burden of global price increases for energy and indeed for food, which is driving inflation and the cost of living. I think it's important, though, that we understand the realities here, and even if, which none of us should do, of course, because the climate crisis has not gone away, but even if we were to put to one side the environmental considerations, given the timescales and the practicalities involved, it's not credible to suggest that the short-term solution to this crisis lies in increasing North Sea production. Existing fields in the North Sea are not currently operating under capacity. Expanding existing fields is possible, but that would take months, if not years, and new fields take years, if not decades, to plan and develop. So we shouldn't go after solutions that might sound superficially attractive, but don't stand scrutiny around the practicalities and the realities. In the short term, what we must see in terms of rises in global prices is action from the Chancellor, substantial and significant action from the Chancellor, to shield households across the UK from that impact, including, as I'm hearing from a sedentary position behind me, action on reducing VAT. Medium to longer term, the reality is, and in fact, I've heard UK ministers make this point, as well as the European Commission make this point in recent days. Medium to longer term, the action the world needs to take to reduce dependence on Russian fossil fuels is exactly the same action that the world needs to take to address the climate emergency. We must accelerate the transition away from fossil fuels to renewable and low-carbon energy, and that's what the Scottish Government remains focused on.